Hey, it's Sue. Welcome to the Lenormand Lovers. I'm so happy that you're here and that you have an interest in learning how to read Lenormand cards. They're my favorite. So I'm going to let me share my screen with you and we'll get started. Today, we are going to talk about two card combinations. So one of the great things about learning how to read Lenormand cards is that they help you connect with your intuition. So let's get started. So what are Lenormand cards? We covered this. I'll go through it pretty quickly. So they're named after Mademoiselle Lenormand. She was a French professional fortune teller who lived back during the time of Napoleon. She was considered the greatest cartomancer of all time, highly influential in the wave of French cartomancy that began during the 18th century. She didn't create the cards, but she became famous for using them with her clients. This is a very simple deck, 36 cards, illustrated, fairly concrete, literal meanings, and they're known as Petite Lenormand. As with all fortune-telling vehicles, these are to be used for fun and for a form of entertainment and to not rule your lives. We're all born with free will that we need to exercise when making decisions daily. So why Lenormand cards? They're very straightforward. Each symbol represents something, an object, a person, idea that speaks directly to each one of us. We use our own personal symbol vocabulary or spirit vocabulary to tell the story that shows up in the cards. If I was to mention to you, let's say flowers, you immediately have a picture in your head, not only of what flowers look like, but what flowers mean for you. And that's where we pull our spirit vocabulary. So there's only 36 cards that are anchored in simplicity, making the foundation work to prepare to read the Lenormand cards easy to grasp. The deck is very small and easy to hold in your hand, like a deck of cards, which we like. So the benefits of reading Lenormand. Working with the Lenormand cards will strengthen your connection to your intuition. Being so easy to read, Lenormand cards will strengthen your confidence in your reading skills very quickly. They can show you the direction you're heading in any situation at any time, and it's up to you to decide if you want to stay the course or change your energy and move in a different direction. The cards serve as a messenger from your higher consciousness. All the answers that you seek to any situation already lie within you. You just have to tap in to your intuition to hear the message and the answer. These cards are eerily accurate and can give a glimpse of your future, helping you to prepare and manage your life. So the resources, I use two different kinds of cards. I use the Learning Way Lenormand. I love them. They're just so beautiful. And I use the Blue Owl. They're very, very simple, kind of old-fashioned, easy to read. And this is a must-have, the Essential Lenormand book by Rana George. It's just broken out so beautifully. Each card gets 2 or 3 pages that talks about a very extensive meanings, but you don't need to memorize them, because what really is important to tap into your intuition is what that symbol means to you, because it'll show up for you in a way that you will understand without having to strain your brain to remember. All of these things are available on Amazon. I studied under a very talented teacher for several years here in St. Louis, building my reading skills. This led to my reading for the public in 2017. From all of this that I'm going to tell you, choose what speaks to you and leave the rest. So some decks, I also want to point out, come with extra cards. They might have extra people cards, like a young man versus an old man, or a young woman versus an old woman. I have a deck that has a couple of different versions of the birds. Might be owls on one card, might be little parakeets on another. I have a deck that actually has like a bonus card. I'm not sure what that's for. So again, I would start with the basic 36 cards as you learn how to read them and interpret the symbols. So I've done some previous videos. The first one was all about building your spirit vocabulary, choosing one word meanings for each cards. So if you haven't watched that first yet, I would go back and watch that. There are no set rules, and practice is key to your experience. So Two card combinations. So Lenormand cards are read in pairs of two, coming together to create a prediction that tells the story or answers the question that's asked. The symbols flow together to give clarity about the past and to give you a glimpse of the future. Combining cards helps us blend the story of the cards, and stringing the cards together is what makes a coherent statement. So one of the Lenormand reading formats uses all 36 cards, but you don't read all 36 cards. You read them two at a time together, depending on where they are in the reading. So learning how to read the two card combinations is fundamental to building your foundation for reading Lenormand cards. All right, so you're going to use your spirit vocabulary. So you're going to look at the very first card as the subject in a two card reading, and the second card as the description that modifies it. Or the first card is the noun and the second card is the adjective. So I had to, get refreshed on what the meanings of all this was, because I'm not an English teacher. But a noun is a word that identifies a class of people, a place, or a thing. And the adjective is a word or phrase related to the noun that modifies it or describes it. So it's really not as hard as it sounds. Anyway, here we go. Two card combinations. Hey, we are going to look at clouds now. We're going to take the cloud card and our one word spirit vocabulary and combine it with the other cards to come up with two card combinations. Now the cloud is our first negative card. It doesn't have a terrible connotation, but it's not happy like the sun or the heart or the bouquet. In a large reading, if the cloud would show up to the left of the significator, which is the person you're reading for and whatever card is identifying them, we haven't gotten to that yet. So if you're confused, don't worry about it. We will get to it. But if it happens to the left, that means it's either already happened or they're moving through it. If it's to the right, it means it's coming in the future. So the clouds are about trouble on the way. They're about confusion. They're about not being able to see clearly, like being in a fog. It could just be something minor, like a mix-up, or it could be something quite large, but it's uncertain. And it's a future that cannot be seen clearly. So we're going to start with clouds. So clouds with the writer. So writer is a messenger, news coming. So this could be a confusing message. Then we have lucky. Now there's no such thing as lucky confusion. So this would actually be kind of reversed. It would be uncertain luck or a disappointment. With the ship, we have a trip. So rather than saying a uncertain trip or a trip of confusion, we would just say maybe something like uncertain travels. Now we have the clouds and the house. So that's your home. So I would just say things at home are unclear. So an uncertainty at home. Health, tree. So uncertain health certainly would look at, what's going on, go to the doctor and get that diagnosis. So uncertain health, you just haven't been feeling well. Now we have two negatives. The snake is a negative unless you absolutely love snakes. So snakes can also mean shedding your skin. So there'd be a little bit of a transformation. But I pick usually danger or betrayal. So I would say this is not, something is not clear, but definitely wrong. This is when you would trust your intuition and dig a little deeper. So now we have confusions and with the clouds, and endings with the coffin. Now, I was actually doing a reading for the whole month, and these two cards came together, and I was using somebody else's interpretations, and this really shocked me. But the coffins was painful ending and cloud, so somebody dying, but you don't know why. That would not be how I would want to read this. I usually would have, so it's an ending and it's unclear, not knowing how to move forward. So I'm going to say no vision for the future. So things are unclear, an unclear ending. I just generally don't read in the negative. All right, so now we have the clouds with the bouquet, and the bouquet is a gift, so or happiness. So not being able to see what the gift is, so uncertain happiness. Now we have the scythe, which for me is usually sharp or fast. So we have the clouds being confused and something happening quick. So I'm going to say suddenly confused. So it overcame you quickly. All of a sudden, I didn't know what was going on. I was confused. Now, the whip is also a negative card. It can mean repetition or arguments. So maybe all of a sudden you find yourself once again in an argument with someone and you don't know why. So don't know why you're arguing. Alrighty, so now we've got the birds. So the birds can be gossip. So confusing gossip, you're hearing a story that you just don't quite understand or like. Birds can also be about somebody calling you because they're on a wire, telephone wire. So this could be something annoying phone calls or lies. So let's say annoying phone calls and lies. Now we have the child. So it could be a literal child or something new or something small. So it could be problems with the child. Or let's say new confusion. Something just came up. New confusion. Now, the fox. The fox can also be a negative card. I tend to like to read it as the work card, but you got to trust when it comes up, and it's sneaky. So especially when they come up together, like something's going on, but you just can't figure it out, or somebody's up to no good. So I'm going to put scheming. So when I get the fox in conjunction with another negative card, I tend to read it with more of a mischievous slant. Okay, so the bear can be business, finances. It can also be diet. So I would say that with the clouds, you would have problems with your business or finances. I'm spelling everything wrong today. Or your diet. Now we have the stars, which is a really happy card. So that's dreams and wishes, but the clouds are obscuring the dreams and the wishes. So I would say that you have no clarity with what it is you're hoping for. The stork is about transition, clouds being unclear, confusion. So perhaps unclear transition, or maybe it's a risky move, risky change. The dog is our loyal friend. So we have some issues with the relationship. So uncertain friendship. Tower is about work, multi-level things. So it could be about anything. This is So maybe it's a police issue or a medical issue or insurance issue or a banking issue. So all of those people are kind of in positions of power. So let's say problem with authority. And again, you'd have to dig in to see what's going on. Now we have the garden. So we have our social groups. So, sorry, I didn't delete all this off. So, confusing social group. I want to definitely say this is related to social media, is like maybe just not knowing what's going on with your social group. Okay, so your tribe of people. Mountain is a negative card. So now we have, again, a double negative here. So we have confusion and obstacles. And that can mean, well, delays, confusion and delays. So no forward movement because of obstacles. So now we have crossroads, which is choices. I'd say that means there could be a lot of confusion or indecisiveness, because you have to make some decisions. Indecision about choices. Just can't make up your mind. Mice is also a negative card. So now we get another double negative. So confusion and stress. That is not good. So I'm going to say doubts causing stress. So now we have love. So I would say uncertain love. So love, you could be pining over someone. The relationship's not clear. That's not a good place to be. So now we have ring, which is commitment. So you're just not clear on what you want to do with your commitment. So there could be problems with the contract. Book is about secret knowledge. So confusion and secret knowledge. I'm going to say secrets for sure. And things in hiding. Now we have written communication that is unclear. Maybe you're trying to read a book for a book report and you just don't get it. I've had to do that before. So there's a problem with the message, whatever it is you're reading. So problem with the message. So now we have the man and the woman. So the man could be a con man, and the woman could be, I don't know the right word, black widow. That's not it. That's someone who kills you. So just a sneaky woman. No, a woman who is deceptive. So confusion and Lily. Lily is peace and tranquility, but also a timing thing, timing long term. So I would say being unsettled. So you're looking for peace and tranquility, but it's just not there. Sun is one of the best cards in the whole deck. It's about success. And so when you get a real happy card, positive card after a negative card, it can cancel out the negative. So this is things will improve. That's because this is the success card. So things will improve. Now we have emotion, the moon, emotion, psychic, intuitive work, and confusion. So I would say your intuition is not working for you. You just can't see what it is you need to do. The moon with emotion and clouds, it could be unstable. unstable emotions, maybe depression. Now, the key is all about solutions, but the clouds are keeping you from the solution. So I'm going to say delayed answers, a delayed solution. You just can't see it. So working it. Fish is resources. So resources and abundance. I'm going to say with the cloud there, not being able to see your resources, maybe you have a lot of debt. The anchor is all about security. The clouds being uncertain. I'm going to say uncertain goals. Now the cross is the burden. So it's worry. So now you're worried because you can't really see what's coming up. I'm going to say that's anxiety. Double negative there. So if you're moving on to the next card, 2-card combinations, which would be the snake, you can stop right now. But if you're not going to move forward, let me just tell you a couple other things. I'm not walking you through each combination today. I'm doing a little video for each one. But you can just complete the assignment on your own because you have the handouts that you need. I will give you the gift of my 2-card combinations, but again, that's my spirit vocabulary and won't necessarily resonate with you. I'm going to be doing videos that go 3-card spreads, 5-card spreads, a portrait spread, eventually the grand tableau. In the meantime, if you have any questions, please email me at sue@Pied Piper of Purpose. I won't analyze your readings, but I can help you if you're stuck or have a question about how things work. I'm really proud of you that you're doing this work. This is a gift. If people are fascinated by it, it can be something as lighthearted as throwing cards for your friends, or you could even develop this into a business, because the more you work on these 2-card combinations and your spirit vocabulary, the stronger your intuition will become. So I'm proud of you. All righty. So until the next video, see you then.